Montessori, Her Life and Work by E.M. Standing. Part 1, Chapter 1, and what you're getting, Section 6. And here comes the hard part with the language. Montessori comes in touch with deficient children. Okay, here we go. Another 10 years were to elapse before Dr. Montessori was to discover her great mission in life. 10 crowded years of the most incessant and varied labors, which we must now briefly outline. Soon after graduating, Dr. Montessori was appointed assistant doctor at the psychiatric clinic in the University of Rome. Part of her duty in this connection was to visit the asylums for the insane in Rome in order to select suitable subjects for the clinic. It was in this way that she was led to take an interest in idiot children, who at that period were classed together with the insane. Here again, it was a case of sympathy for the underdog. Her generous heart was touched by the piteous condition of these unfortunate children, and she longed to help them. But with her, it was not only a question of sympathy, a question of the heart. She used her head, too. She saw these poor creatures and at their environment with an eye illuminated by the light of genius. The following anecdote is very revealing. In one of these lunatic asylums, she came across a number of these unhappy children herded together like prisoners in a prison-like room. The woman who looked after them did not attempt to conceal the disgust with which she regarded them. Montessori asked her why she held them in such contempt. "Because," the woman replied, "as soon as their meals are finished, they throw themselves on the floor to search for crumbs." Montessori looked around the room and saw that the children had no toys or materials of any kind, that the room was in fact absolutely bare. There were literally no objects in their environment which the children could hold and manipulate in their fingers. Montessori saw in the children's behavior a craving of a very different and higher kind than for mere food. There existed for these poor creatures, she realized, one path, and one only towards intelligence, and that was through their hands. Instinctively, the poor deficient mites had sought after that path by the only means in their reach. The more Montessori came in contact with these defective children, studying them, meditating over their condition, longing to help them, the more strongly did she come to differ from the generally accepted views with regard to them. It became increasingly apparent to her that mental deficiency was a pedagogical problem rather than a medical one. She came to believe that, with special educational treatment, their mental condition could be immensely ameliorated, a view she found to be shared by the French doctors Jean Itard and Edouard Seguin, and a few others. She says, that form of creation which was necessary for these unfortunate beings, so as to enable them to re-enter human society, to take their place in the civilized world and render them independent of the help of others, placing human dignity within their grasp, was a work which appealed so strongly to my heart that I remained in it for years. Reader's notes. In terms of some of the language, I would like you to at least remember one thing. No one meant any harm with these words. I'm sure, since it was common language, many didn't even think about it, even if some certainly meant it from a bad place. People in the old days didn't speak the way we do. And I would like to make a comparison between that horrible woman that basically got disgusted by the kids to Montessori, who instinctively loved them and saw their potential.